Hi everybody, welcome back to another Steam Deck video, but this one's a little bit different. This is a first impressions review of Expeditions, a mud runner game, which I think is actually coming out today as I'm releasing the video, because the very kind people at Sabre Interactive actually sent me a key to have a go with. And what I wanted to do was try it out on the Steam Deck. This is a 512GB OLED model, because if you're unfamiliar with the series, the Mud Runner series, you've got Mud Runner, you've got Snow Runner, and then we've got Expeditions. They're more akin to something like Euro Truck Simulator than a driving game like Gran Turismo, if you like, something like that. Because what you've got to do, generally in these games, is you're working with larger vehicles in difficult terrain, driving around. And in Mud Runner and Snow Runner, you're kind of delivering, mostly it's like forestry stuff, like lumber and equipment and things like that. However, in Expeditions, it's slightly different in the fact that it's more based around having like almost like an automotive adventure in an unusual off-road location. So I'm in Arizona. So, for example, the things I've had to do already let's put the handbrake on, are things like deposit a radio tower, go and find some missing stuff, explore the environment, rather than go and get some wood and take it from this place to this place. And we've also got some really funky tools we can play with as well to help us achieve our objectives and to really reconnoitre the area. We have different devices. So we've got the winch, as you'd expect, to be able to pull yourself out of ditches. And again, if you're unfamiliar with the series, you kind of move around the environment, this tricky environment. So you've really got to think about things like how rough is the terrain for the vehicle that you're using. Do you need to use four-wheel drive? Do you need to lock your differential? Do you need to attach a winch to a rock or a tree to be able to pull you through? Do you need to deflate your tyre pressure? All this sort of stuff as well. But now we've got things like the drone, so that when you're thinking of going from place to place, you can reconnoitre the way that you're going first. And also, this is very much based around exploring the landscape to find objectives to do as well, like airdrops and stuff like that. And so we've got the drone that we can use, and we've also got the binoculars that you can here we go, we can zoom in, and the idea is that you would find points of interest, and then you would go and explore and see what's at that point of interest. And as you're playing the game, you can, let's go to first person, handbrake off, you can you're earning currency, which means you can then upgrade your vehicles to get different attachments and different tools that you can use to make them better and generally have more fun as well. I've got to say, this is running pretty well on the Steam Deck. I mean, this isn't a fast-paced game, and as you can see in the top left-hand corner, we're kind of getting about 50 frames per second out of it. If we go into my settings, you'll see that really I think I've set almost everything to medium. If we go to the bottom, I kind of set everything to medium, because remember, with the Steam Deck, with its 1280 by 800 display, even low resolutions and low texture resolutions look really nice anyway. And sometimes we can get a little bit obsessed, I think, with, you've got to run everything on ultra quality, but you definitely don't need to on this. And you're going slow, so you don't need sort of 60 frames a second or anything like that. And it does handle the lower frame rates well. Although for me, if a game plays at least 30 frames a second, if it's not something like a Twitch shooter, I'm very happy indeed. So you can see here, we've got the very different regions that we can go to. So I tell you what, I haven't been there already. So let's take a look at Arizona. And let's see. Conquest of the Frontier. And here is the first serious contract. The government lost a cargo near our field base and asked to return it back. You can deliver it to the base, and then we will figure out how to send it to the recipient. So what they're saying is we need to have... So difficulty is easy. It's about 1 kilometre away. There's ravines. The truck scout. So we need to take some anchors with us. So these are portable points where... I think in previous games, I'm not sure if they had these, but if you get stuck... you can attach your winch to, say, a tree or a rock or something like that. Anchors are ones that you can place wherever you want, but it's a consumable. So we need to make sure we take a truck with a anchor and a jack screw, and that's something that can flip the vehicle. Okay, so let's select that one, and let's take a truck. And when we go into the trucks, it kind of gives you these exclamation marks that says that you can do stuff. I quite like this one. So let's add this one, and let's go into the inventory. So we need to take a jack screw to flip us over, and we'll take an anchor. Now, when you take the anchors, you actually get 5 anchors, but let's take lots of those, and let's take some spare fuel. All right, we got fuel. Can we take fuel? No, we can take a camera. That will probably do. We've already got spare parts. We've got a spare wheel. We've got 80 litres of fuel. Right, there we go. So that's good. Or do we have to buy it? No. Okay, so we're good to go. So now we can come out of there, and this has got a metal detector on the top. Let's go back and let's deploy. And then we will be off. So I've got to say, I've got about 3 or 4 hours into expeditions already, and I've got to say, I really, really have enjoyed this game. Right, headlamp on. Can always have a look around. Oh, looks very nice, and I love this slower paced game. I always wanted to get into Mud Runner and Snow Runner, but I just never really had the time. So I tell you what, let's have a quick look at the minimap first. So you've got like a fog of war situation as well. So as you discover more areas, you can open them up. And also, what you'll probably find is these areas that are in blue, I can build things here. So, you know, supply depots and stuff like that. Let's have a look. So where have we got to go? So that's where we are. Conquest of the Frontier. So that's where they've got to go. So what we could do, you can even put down markers and say, want to go there, want to go there, want to go there. That's very useful if you're navigating very tricky terrain and you're kind of checking it out, but we won't do that. What we'll do though is before we set off, let's pop out our drone. Let's just have a quick look round. It's a shame that this is we're doing this at night. It'd be nice to do it during the day because it looks absolutely spectacular. Very, very nice. Very, very tricky terrain. Right, so handbrake off, and then we can have automatic. We go to low gear. We can go into neutral. We can go into reverse. If we're in automatic, obviously the car changes gear by itself. We've got a parking brake, or a handbrake, or an emergency brake, I guess, in America. We've got lock our diff. We've got all-wheel drive for difficult situations. We can change our tyre pressure as well, so we can lower our tyre pressure so that we get better traction, all that sort of stuff. So let's head off into the great unknown. And it's one of those these games you've really kind of got to go slow and sometimes just stop and have a look around the terrain to kind of see what you're up against and what do you need to do before you go crashing on, because your vehicle does take damage. And although if you do get stuck, you can recover things. So we're struggling a bit now, so probably what we want to do is just maybe lock our diff, maybe drop our tyre pressure a little bit. You've got to be careful, because if you go over terrain that's a little bit too bumpy, you can get punctures. Okay, so where have we got to go next? So it wants us to go around to there. Looks really good in first person. The problem is that you can't always really see all the different bits. What I try and do as well is I try and avoid knocking down the plants, because these cacti have been there a long time, haven't they? So it probably wants us to have a look around here. Handbrake on. So what we could do now is let's get our binoculars out and just have a look around. All right, so there's an airdrop over there. So we found that. So again, these are points of interest that we could visit as we are travelling around. And they're all given us little tasks that we could do. So we need to go down to here. Let's have a look. Oh, handbrake off. We've got to be careful, this is getting quite steep now. Ooh. Oh, what's this? The totem points to the safe path. Should be helpful, so keep an eye out. Okay. So let's just quickly send our drone just to have a quick look. So it's saying the safe path is down this way. So ultimately we're heading over there. Okay. Off we go. Bit of a drop on our left. Around we go. Ooh, we don't want to fall over. Oh, we hit a rock. Damage to the front of the vehicle. Being the first mission on this particular area, it's not going to be particularly challenging. Got to keep an eye on our fuel as well. Got plenty left there. Carefully bounce down here. And then we've got to go over there. Looks like a difficult climb, but if you lower your tire pressure, you'll notice a difference straight away. Well, we've already done that. So we should be okay. Let's have a look. Let's just... This is very steep, actually. Let's just go around this way first. Ooh, okay. Ooh. So we've got a bit of a challenge here. Ooh, almost went over the edge. Up we go, go on. You can do it? Yes. Now what I could have done, to make life easier, I could put down a winch point there. Okay. So we just got to be careful we're not dropping off the edge of a big cliff, which we are there, so we don't really want to go that way. there is a way down here. So let's put her into low gear. Let's slowly bump down here. That's good. Go back into automatic. Right, now we've got some water. Now we've got to be careful about water because you never know how deep it's going to be. You've got to use an echo finder to see how deep it would be. But let's see if we can just go around it instead. Okay, so this looks like the place. Sometimes you can cheese it a little bit by not going completely into the zone. So handbrake on, trade. All right, here we go. So often you'll find this. You'll get to the resource zone. Where's the thing? Scrap metal, equipment box, dinosaur femur. Now we've already got one. So was that what they wanted? Problem is I've only got space for a certain amount of stuff. So this is why maybe I should have brought the bigger truck. Because if I brought the bigger truck, I could have taken all this stuff back to my base and used it for stuff. There we go. So anyway, so we've still got to crack on. There we go. So we've got to go and find that bit there. But hopefully I've given you a good idea of what Expeditions Mud Runner game is all about. It's loads of fun. I'm really looking forward to putting many more hours into this. It runs great on the Steam Deck. It looks great on the Steam Deck. And it's one of those great sort of pick up and play games. You know, you can just pick it up. It's not a twitch shooter. You can take your time. You can relax. You can pause it. You can go away, do something else. It's not the end of the world if you crash. It's almost like a puzzle game. I guess it is really a puzzle game a lot of the time. And there's many ways of getting you past a certain situation, because sometimes you'll maybe think you're stuck and you think, well, I can use my winch and I could use it to pull myself out, or maybe I could push myself out of here. I could lower my tire pressure. I could go to four-wheel drive. I could lock my differential. So many different things you can do to help you sort of get from A to B to C that I've really enjoyed it indeed. So there we go. Expeditions on the Steam Deck. I think it's great. Looking forward to playing more. And if you're a fan of Mud Runner and Snow Runner, I think you're probably definitely going to check this out. And if you find this gameplay intriguing, because you might not have come across this before, then maybe you should check it out as well. Anyway, that's enough from me. What's your thoughts and comments? And of course, I'll see you again soon.